And I know I can fix you because you are the one who taught me everything I know. And I'm not just talking about surgery. You taught me how to be a better person, how to be a better mother. And what about my children? I want them to grow up and know who you are, please.
Let me ask you this. What's the one relationship in Grey's Anatomy that's touched your heart the most? If you're thinking Meredith Grey and Richard Webber, you're not alone. Their bond goes way beyond the hospital, giving us some of the most emotional and unforgettable moments in the show's history. Today, we're counting down 7 of those heartwarming moments that will remind you just why these two are the ultimate duo. Let's dive in. Starting at number 7, we have helping Meredith with forgiveness. After the episode with the attacking patient, Meredith cannot find it in her heart to forgive. While she was upset about the situation, Richard told her about the power of forgiveness and gave her helpful tips.
Forgiveness is a powerful thing, Meredith. Not only to make the other person feel good, but to heal you.
While Richard is always rooting for Meredith, he is not afraid to tell her what she needs to do, no matter how difficult it may be. Not only is he a coworker who cares about the health of Meredith, but he is a friend and someone who can speak his wisdom to her. And at number 6 we have when he told Meredith she had a gift. As a 5th-year resident, Meredith needs to choose a specialty. But even though everyone recommends that she should do general surgery like her famed mother, she's unsure if she wants to follow in Ellis's footsteps. Richard helps her contend with her conflicting emotions by telling her that she's nothing like her mother and that she has a gift in the OR that she shouldn't waste.
And you're nothing like your mother. You have a gift.
The encouragement gives Meredith the inspiration she needs to pursue general surgery and work even harder to be better than her mother. Coming off at number 5, we have Ellis's ashes. Meredith and her mother Ellis didn't exactly have the most normal relationship, so it's not surprising that when tasked with disposing of her late mother's ashes, she takes an unconventional route. She decides to wash Ellis's ashes down the OR sink, thinking that her mother would have liked the idea, and when Richard sees this, he opts to help Meredith rather than chastise her.
What are you doing, Gray? This is a sterile environment.
It's my mother. And I think this is where she'd want to be.
They say a final goodbye to Ellis together in the OR. At number 4, we have Richard sees Meredith in her wedding dress. Meredith tries on wedding dresses in one of the doctor's rooms, and the scene is lighthearted and humorous as she jokes around with Christina and Izzy. When she steps out in the wedding dress, the mood in the room changes as they all admire her.
You're gonna make a beautiful bride.
From outside the room, Richard passes by and he smiles. While this wasn't a direct interaction, it showed how Richard truly cares, and when Meredith is happy, he is too. And at number 3, we have Richard apologizes to Meredith. Although Richard and Meredith's relationship is now super solid, the two weren't always on such good terms. She resented Richard for his affair with her mother, and he treated her harshly out of a mix of grief and love. When things finally come to a head in this episode, Richard emotionally apologizes to Meredith for his role in her fractured family, telling her that he saw how neglected she was and didn't fight for her when he should have.
I wasn't your advocate. I didn't fight for you. I never stood up for you.
I should have fought for you, Meredith, Richard tells her. You were helpless. You were a baby, a beautiful, smart, funny little girl, and no one stood up for you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The apology strikes a chord with Meredith, who cries on his shoulder and later invites him to her wedding. At number 2, we have Meredith's suspension. It's safe to say that Bailey's decision to replace Richard as head of the hospital's teaching program doesn't go over well, not least with Meredith, who just happened to have gotten herself suspended. When Bailey offers Meredith her job back, she refuses to return until Richard gets his job back too, showing how much she cares for him.
I am ready to lift the suspension if you feel you can come back.
I want to.
Good.
But I can't.
Bailey reveals to Richard what Meredith said, and although he later tries to convince her to not keep fighting for him, she doesn't listen. He does, however, succeed in encouraging her to get her own job and not let her skills go to waste. Finally, at number 1, we have cobalt poisoning. Richard has truly been through it all, including a scary bout of cobalt poisoning in Grey's 16th season. Sick and disoriented, Richard escapes from his hospital room and heads to the OR, where he delusionally plans to perform surgery on himself. Thankfully, Meredith is the one who finds him because she manages to not only talk him down, but also gives a moving speech about Richard having taught her everything she knows and not wanting to lose him so soon.
And I know I can fix you because you are the one who taught me everything I know. And I'm not just talking about surgery. You taught me how to be a better person, how to be a better mother. And what about my children? I want them to grow up and know who you are, please.
It's hard not to cry when Mare brings up her kids, telling Richard that she needs him to see them grow up. As we've seen, Meredith and Richard's bond is truly one of the most special relationships in Grey's Anatomy. From mentorship to friendship, their connection has grown into something deeper and more meaningful over the years. Whether they're sharing laughs, supporting each other through personal struggles, or navigating the ups and downs of life, their moments together have never failed to tug at our heartstrings. Thanks for joining us in celebrating these heartfelt moments. Don't forget to let us know your favorite Meredith and Richard memory in the comments. And of course, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Grey's Anatomy content.